Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please remove your caps for the presentation of the colors by the Fargo Public Schools Air Force Junior ROTC under the direction of Colonel Stephen Muse and Master Sergeant Conway Kangas. The color guard is commanded today by Cadet Nathaniel Hewlett, accompanied by Cadets Marissa Clemenson, Jack Van Ank, and Brooklyn Klein. Today's national anthem is being sung by our very own Davies High School group Vivace under the direction of Mr. Casey Boehm. Please remain standing and hold your applause until the colors have left the floor.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, toward the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Once again, good afternoon. My name is Troy Cody, building principal at Davies High School, and I would like to officially welcome each and every one of you to the 2016 commencement ceremonies for the graduating class of Judge Ronald N. Davies High School. I might add, our second ever graduating class that has spent all 4 years in our building. To each and every one of you graduates, I'm quite confident that there are many proud moms and dads, grandpas and grandpas, uncles and aunts, brothers and sisters, and other family members and friends sitting in this very Fargo Dome here today that are extremely proud of you. I trust that you will sit back and enjoy this day as we celebrate you on your accomplishments, and congratulations on making it to this point. And that you also reflect on the many different memories that you've shared with so many of us who've supported you here today. You've earned this moment in time. And now I'd like to introduce to you our Master of Ceremonies for today's commencement. Today's MC is the president of the Davies High School student body, also of our theater department. He's the current leader of the Davies High School Improv Club, also known as the Improbable Force. He's also been an active leader in our building over the past 4 years. He's the son of Vern and Cindy Thompson. Next year, Will be attending the University of Minnesota Twin Cities and majoring in performing arts. Ladies and gentlemen, students and staff, please help me in welcoming to the podium Mr. Will Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Cody, for that kind welcome. Now is our time to relax. We have all worked very hard in one way or another leading up to this point. So let's enjoy this moment in time together as we all take one step closer to our future. Now it is my pleasure to introduce those present on stage with me. Please hold your applause until they have all been introduced. As I call your name, please stand. Beginning with the science instructor, Samantha Bachmeyer, who will be reading the graduates' names today. Assistant Principal and Activities Director, Lenny Olhauser. Senior speakers, Shauna Pansky, Nate Thorson, and Jennifer Marsh. Davies Principal, Mr. Troy Cody. Superintendent of Fargo Public Schools, Dr. Jeffrey Schatz. School board members, Mr. David Paulson and Mr. Paul Myers. And now I'm pleased to introduce our Master of Ceremonies for today's commencement. Oh, what? My apologies. And Assistant Principal, Dr. Dale Miller and Sean Safransky. We also have with us Jana Gunderson and Stacy Tornell, our American Sign Language interpreters for today's ceremony. Please help me in thanking them for their roles in today's ceremonies. We have with us today a man of great stature. Davies will always hold a special place with him, as some may remember him as the first ever principal of Davies High School. He currently holds the responsibility of serving our community as superintendent of the Fargo Public School System. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Dr. Jeffrey Schatz.
Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the Board of Education, Administration, and staff of the Fargo Public Schools, I welcome you to the commencement exercises for the class of 2016. Welcome to parents, family, and friends. It's good to stand up here. 5 years, Davies High School. It's pretty amazing. 5 years has gone by already. To you, the graduates, congratulations on your graduation and all that you've accomplished along the way. Your journey to get here today has prepared you to take the next step in your life. Now you will move on to the status of alumni, and with that status, you'll become a member of a well-established group, 4 years now, who came before you and who continue to care about the outstanding educational experiences provided for all students who attend Davies High School. So at this time, and this has become a bit of a tradition for me, I'd like all the graduates to please stand. And I'd like you to turn to the crowd, if you would please. For those of you that are in attendance today that graduated from the Fargo Public Schools, please stand. All right. Graduates, you will now become a member of this alumni group. These are the folks who have come before you, the folks who support us and continue to follow your journey as you are now graduating from high school. Let's give them a big round of applause. Okay, you can have a seat again. Alumni, thank you for your continued support of the work that we do in providing our students with the skills and attributes needed to be successful and to take their next steps. To our teachers, counselors, support staff, and administrators in attendance today, thank you for your dedication and commitment to our students. Your steady and determined guidance has been critical in ensuring that each and every student receives the best possible education while in attendance in our schools. Your efforts are greatly appreciated. Thank you, staff. And to our school board members who are in attendance today, thank you for your service to our community and to our district. Your efforts are greatly appreciated. Graduates, the one question I get asked all the time, are students today better prepared than they were of students yesterday? Amidst the ongoing chatter of social media, instant news coverage of underperforming students, international comparisons indicating a decline in student performance, and high-stakes tests grouping all students in one commonly misinterpreted score, one would think that the answer to that question would be no. However, I know better. What I know today about graduates is that we demand more from you than we have ever done before. We ask that you complete 24 credits to graduate, and more than 54% of our students take more than those 24 credits that are required. You are more engaged in our community through service learning projects, community engagements, and service to many different sectors in our city. You are a significant part of our workforce needs in our community. You represent the youthful life of a community and bring energy and value to the future of our community. From my perspective, you are the greatest economic commodity in our city, for you are the future citizens, homeowners, workforce, creators, innovators that will lead us to the globally connected 21st century world. There are big expectations for you. However, I know you are prepared to meet those challenges, and more so prepared than those who have walked before on this stage. As you leave the Dome today, some of you have a well-planned path for your future, and while some of you are still developing that path, regardless of that path that you choose, here are some things that I hope you will do. First, dream big. Why not? What do you have to lose? For you are young and you have plenty of time to pursue your dreams. Take the next steps to your new reality, no matter how small or big, but do something. Make a difference in the world. The world is in need of your service. Go out and be part of the solution. Engage yourself in a purposeful life, one of integrity, truth, and purpose. Love your family because in the end, that is the most important thing. And be happy, have a hopeful spirit, and be curious. You are the only one in charge of your own destiny. Graduates, challenge yourself and dream big. You have every opportunity to be successful in life. Seize the moment and engage productively in your future. I believe in you and know you will make us proud. Congratulations to you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Dr. Schatz, for those great words. Our next speaker is a two-time state champion in golf and a two-time Gatorade Player of the Year in soccer, where she holds the North Dakota state record for goals scored in a season. Her academic record is beyond excellent, and she is an active member of the school in many facets, including student council, National Honor Society, philanthropy and youth, and Science Olympiad. She is the daughter of David and Julie Marsh. Next year, she'll be attending Duke University and majoring in biology. Ladies and gentlemen, delivering her speech entitled Boxes, help me welcome to the podium Miss Jennifer Marsh.
For the past 4 years, we have all been living inside a very large box. This box we labeled Davies High School. It's cardinal red with gold-lined edges, and each one of us fits inside. Together, we built the walls of our box, solid and strong, to withstand 4 years of us inside of it. Our teachers, administrators, and parents, all stood cautiously outside of our box, ready to fix any crack that occurred, and we cannot thank them enough for this. This box of ours holds everything that we have done in the past 4 years. With any of our weaknesses or failures, our box cracked a little bit with us. But together, we used our strengths and successes to repair the damage. No box can match our box, and nobody can ever take down the box that we built together as a class of 2016. On the first day of freshman year, we were all undoubtedly nervous. We were late for class because we got lost or we forgot our locker combinations. We looked on as the sophomores, juniors, and seniors parked their cars in the student lot as we were being dropped off by our parents. We sat at the lunch tables farthest away from the seniors and waited last in line for our food. And we stood together in the last few rows at football games, looking down at the brave seniors leading the cheers. This year was a year to build the foundation of our box. As sophomore year began, our newfound maturity and familiarity with routine framed our box. When we arrived at school that first day, we felt at home. We knew where our classes were without having to check our schedules, and we could even help out a lost freshman. We began to learn all of the secret quiet spots, convenient doors, and shortcuts driving to and from school. Our box was growing with knowledge and wisdom already in our second year of high school. Our junior year together was unquestionably the most difficult. That year was full of standardized testing, schoolwork, activities, and socializing. Looking back at this time, we must express great gratitude to all of our supporters. Our teachers, administrators, and parents all stood behind us, holding up the walls of our precious box. As we all struggled through a stressful year, these people made sure that we continued to succeed. But that year only brought us closer together as a class. We learned how to work and support one another through difficulties. We now stood only a few rows back at football games, and we were the leaders of our after-school clubs, activities, and sports. During this year, our box was built up with experience and confidence, which carried us into our final year. Senior year was always the shining light at the end of a long tunnel. We had all survived the years of too much homework and not enough sleep, but we made it to the end only that much stronger. This year, we stood in the front of our school events, cheering on our classmates. We drove our homecoming vans around town, parading the successes and joys of our time together at Davies High School. We now stood before our underclassmen as proud leaders and role models, and we gave each member of our school that deserved the support that we received. In our final year, we stood strong together, holding up our box that could now be viewed as an emblem of greatness. Our class, the Davies High School class of 2016, created this box of passion, experience, knowledge, unity, and success that we can now hold on to for the rest of our lives. Our time at Davies High School, our safe, strong, and supporting box, prepared us for the challenges that have yet to come. It gave us the tools to make our own unique molds that would shape who we will continue to become when we leave here today. Growing together as a class, we struggled, triumphed, and persevered through difficulty. Because we developed such an empowering box, we have all become people capable of overcoming anything that stands in front of us. Our box of the last 4 years has given us the opportunity to be great as individuals because we learned to be great together. Winston Churchill once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Throughout our years of high school together, we experienced the joys of success and the disappointments of failure. But we continued to move forward together. The box that we built as the Davies High School class of 2016 is being opened today. We must all leave today because we have outgrown our box tomorrow we go out to build a new one.
Thank you, Jennifer, for that inspirational speech. The senior choir members, joined by the underclassmen members, will now give their final performance. Today, the Davies High School Concert Choir, under the direction of Mr. Casey Boehm and accompanied by Karen Kozlowski, will be performing How Good by Michael Engelhardt.
Pleasant it is when we dwell together in unity. How good and pleasant it is when we dwell together in unity. How good and pleasant it is when we dwell together in unity. How good and pleasant it is when we dwell together in unity. All people all around the world, all sisters and brothers, we're born to be in one family. Unique yet we're unified, one body and many. Diversity, oh let it be our identity. How good and pleasant it is when we dwell together in unity. How good and pleasant it is when we dwell together in unity. How good it is, how good it is, how good it is, how good when we dwell together, when we dwell together, how good when we dwell together, how good it is, how good when we dwell together, how good it is, how good when we dwell oh, how good and how pleasant it is when we dwell together in unity. How good and pleasant it is when we dwell together, when we dwell together, when we dwell together, when we dwell together. How good and pleasant it is. How good.
I am now pleased to bring Shauna Pansky to the stage. She is the daughter of Tracy and Bruce Pansky. She served as the Vice President of Pheasants Forever National Youth Leadership Council, as well as Secretary of the Davies Student Council and Vice President of SHAPE. She was also in track and cross country and choir throughout her time in high school. Next year, she is attending Concordia to study biology for a pre-med route. Here to give her piece on pushing the limits, Shauna Pansky.
Class of 2016. Though the days and weeks seemed to drag on while they lasted, we sit here today to celebrate and reward each and every one of those days. From every homework assignment and group project to all the tests and quizzes, the class of 2016 has pushed beyond the limits of normal high school students. In our student activities, we've had athletics that have received EDC and state titles through teamwork and long practices, as well as individual state success. We also have had state titles in dance, debate, golf, and most recently, girls track. Our music department has been hitting the right notes all year long, with EDC success with band outstanding performances, and state success with over 100 students qualifying for state music. Our theater department has put their best foot forward with musical theater, one-act plays, and improv. And in addition, the visual arts has dazzled us with many festivals and art shows, as well as everyone's favorite day of the year, Chalk Fest. But aside from our activities, students in the class of 2016 have also been very successful academically. Many students in the class of 2016 have taken over the recommended amount of AP, advanced placement, or dual credit classes, taking 3 to 5, often more than the recommended 2 to 3. Over 80 seniors as well have transferred into a fourth-year language class with over 4 years of language learning and doing very well on national exams. This year, academic clubs also flourished, receiving first-place marks across the state for their academic excellence in Knowledge Bowl, Econ Challenge, Tri-College Mathletes, and the American Mathematics Competition. Academically, the class of 2016 has pushed each student beyond what they thought was possible or recommended to do their best and achieve great things. As reminded to us by our senior math teacher, everything in moderation except for awesome. You can never have too much awesome. And we have taken that to a whole new level. The class of 2016 has clearly seen success outside of the classroom and inside. However, the class of 2016 is also pushing their limits in our character by coming together. In our senior retreat way back in November, many of us will remember that we were different than most classes in the way that we didn't apologize for ratting each other out or over-bullying for a specific person, but instead, we apologized for not being as kind as we could have been and graciously thanked those that were kind to us. The personal struggle of late nights, early mornings, lack of sleep, test after test, quiz after quiz, has brought us all together and united us as the class in that genuine kindness. Our volunteer groups have also shown our character with our Day of Caring, National Honor Society, Student Council, Philanthropy and Youth, and SHAPE. Along with our homecoming, with the enormous amount of homecoming vans we had this year, and the true support we had for each other. After all the work has been put in, and the results have shown, we sit here today to write the last sentences of our Davies experience. Congratulations, class of 2016, and keep pushing the limits to do more than you think possible.
Thank you, Shauna. Our final speaker today is Nate Thorson. Nate is the son of Jay and Kelly Thorson. He is extensively involved in a large number of activities, from student council, debate, and speech, to National Honor Society, and even varsity tennis. Nate was a leader through high school in every way possible. This year, Nate helped lead the Fill the Dome food drive as a member of the board and finished up his year as Class A rep for the state of North Dakota. Nate will be attending NDSU, double majoring in economics and political science. He is one of the most genuine and driven and kind people that I know, and I'm honored and pleased to call him a good friend. Presenting A Life Worth Living, welcome to the podium, my friend and your senior class president, Nate Thorson.
Staff, faculty, ladies and gentlemen, graduating class of 2016. We finally made it. After 12 years of building friendships, wild stories, and late nights, it all comes to an end today. Although we may be walking away from high school, each of us will be stepping into a new adventure called the rest of our lives. While I'm eternally grateful for the unending amount of time that my teachers have poured into my life, I do believe that we've been taught one principle that is simply not true. For 12 years, especially in elementary school, we have been told that we can do anything. The fact of the matter is that not all of us can accomplish everything. It is not meant to be discouraging, but rather empowering for each of us to discover ourselves and our strengths and our weaknesses in order to be the most successful version of ourselves. If we could all be anything, we'd have far too many ninjas, Batman, and astronauts, with a shortage of mechanics, accountants, and miners. As we graduate high school and move on from our relationships we have made, and for many of us, this very city, we must not forget that we are all meant for very different but equally important roles in this world. As we walk through this life, roadblocks will cut us down. A bad grade in college, a declined job application, or an impossible task. Living in such an individualized culture, we have been trained to believe that failure is just another sign of weakness, when this couldn't be further from the truth. When life knocks you down, which it will, what matters is your response to it. Rather than living in self-pity and monotony, use your failures and mistakes to point you in a direction where success is waiting. Each of us have a place, a purpose, and a plan in this world. In the same way that we might not be able to accomplish every career, our careers should not and do not define us. Society has told us that the best way of answering the prompt of, "Tell me about yourself," should always lead us to describing the job we currently hold. Rather than allowing what you do for a career to shape our identity, we should change to who we are and the impact that we can have on the world. I am a firm believer that success is not defined as making lots of money, becoming famous, or even being happy. Success is the ability to look back at our lives and deciding whether we made the lives of others better. The answer to that question will have everything to do with the way that we lived our lives. Today, we will make the decision to make the world a better place or a worse place. Whether we have realized it or not, at every major milestone in our lives, including the beginning of elementary school, middle school, and high school, we all have had the ability to dictate the person we are going to be. And now, graduating high school and moving on, whether it's into college or the workforce, we are posed with the exact same question. Whether you become a doctor, a military police officer, or a physicist, we all have the ability to live for the good of others and the choice of how we are going to live our lives. Today, I urge all of you to decide whether of what type of person you are going to be. Are you going to be a person who creates, or are you going to be a person who destroys? Are you going to be a person who hates, or are you going to be a person who loves? Are you going to help the weak, or will you exploit them? Will you live selfishly, or will you live for the good of others? Will you live a life worth living? Right now, you may be thinking to yourself that you're too small, not pretty enough, not handsome enough, not wealthy enough, not smart enough, or simply too busy or too shy. But nobody is asking you to sell all of your belongings and become the next Mahatma Gandhi or Mother Teresa. All that we are asking from you is that you love others in the best way that you know how. In the words of Ronald Reagan, we cannot help everyone, but everyone can help someone. If you want to live a life worth living, take yourself completely out of the equation. It all starts with living for the good of others and helping those around you. 2016 graduating class of Davies High School. Today, we're closing a major chapter in our lives. But as we walk out of these doors today, for the final time as classmates, we open a new one. Embrace your individuality. love yourself, and embrace your perfections and your flaws along with them. Decide today to love others in such a way that in 60 years from now, you can look back and smile and say, hey, I've lived a life worth living. Thank you.
At this time, our senior band members will join the underclassmen to give their final high school performance. Today's selection is Jupiter Hymn, composed by Gustav Holst. The Davies High School Band is conducted by Davies Band Director, Mr. Darcy Brandenburg.
Seniors, over the course of this ceremony, it is my sincere hope that each one of you have fully enjoyed this day and this very moment. For this is indeed your day and your moment, a day where all of us are here to congratulate you. 13 years have come and gone, some of you from a very traditional path, while others, I'm sure, have unique stories that accompany the path that led each and every one of you to the very chair you are sitting in today. Today, we all gather here to commence your journey that leads you to the diploma that you're about to be handed in a few short moments. Graduates, I'd ask you to look around at the many faculty and staff that have joined you in this day. They could have chosen to be in many other places, yet today they chose to be here with you. This is an example and a dedication and commitment I hope you will never take for granted. Not only from them, but from the many individuals that are supporting you here in these stands today. I also want you to know that as your principal, I could sit back and speak publicly about how this class scored the highest composite ACT score of Fargo Public Schools, or how your class continues to score at the top of the NDSA testing, or about the many different academic accomplishments, state championships. As mentioned earlier, congratulations to our girls' track team on their state championship as recent as yesterday. But I'm choosing to take this moment to simply say thank you. Thank you for the compassion and leadership you've displayed not only in our building, but in our community. You're a group that cares about others. Bottom line is that this 2016 class of graduates are simply really great kids. Parents, you should be proud of them. Class, you will be remembered as a class who made it cool, as evident in the video, to reach out to all. We are an inclusive class. This class has truly demonstrated the pillar of caring. Unlike many other classes, you've spent hours in our community volunteering, time and time in our elementary schools, over 1,300 hours alone in our community. National Honor Society has been volunteering. You continue to set the bar higher and higher. For your athleticism, your musical talents, your theatrical performances, your skills demonstrated in the forensics will be extremely tough to match. Again, as principal of Davies High School, I want to say thank you for making this school year a very memorable one. I wish each and every one of you the very best in whatever steps you take. I also at this time would like to call special attention to a couple of individuals who have encouraged you, supported you, and brought out the very best in each and every one of you. Mrs. Nancy Lear and Mrs. Sherry Seafield Warner will be retiring at the end of this year. Unfortunately, Mrs. Warner Seafield could not be here, but I'd like Nancy, if you could please stand at this time. They'll be retiring after many years in the education profession, and I can say confidently that you have impacted many students and many adults in this arena today. And on behalf of our entire Davies community, our students and staff assembled here, we wish to say thank you for your dedication to the many students and families you've made a difference for over the course of your career. And we wish you the very best in what may lie ahead. And from what I've been told, every day is Saturday from here on out. At this time, would the 2016 graduating class from Judge Ronald N. Davies High School please stand? Superintendent Schatz, members of the school board, families and friends. These students standing before you today have met all of the requirements for the graduation that have been set forth by the North Dakota Department of Public Instruction and the Fargo Public School District No. 1 Board of Education. It is my sincere privilege to present to you the graduating seniors from Judge Ronald N. Davies High School to receive their diploma with all of the rights and privileges that go with it. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 2016 graduating class from Judge Ronald N. Davies High School. Graduates, you may be seated. With the first row and the following rows, please come forward to receive your diploma.
Reggie Abdi. Abdirazak Abdi Kadir. Mohammed Abdullahi. Allison Aberly. Madison Adams. Tiham Adhami. Abubakar Ahmed. Mohammed Ahmed. Samir Ahmed. Casey Allard. Carly Anderson. Gong Andrew. Riley Arneson. Kelsey Axman. Delaney Bachman. Ellie Bachmeyer. Megan Bottinger. Catherine Bosky. Lauren Becker. Devin Beal. Michael Berg. Heidi Birch. Paige Bettenhausen. William Biggerstaff. Carla Bindi. Todd Bischoff. Maren Bollinger. Jacob Bohr. Tanner Boynoski. McKinley Brown. Jonathan Brundon. Benjamin Bryant. Santiago Bueno IV. Miriam Bukhari. Caitlin Burbank. Gabrielle Burcham. Sarah Burns. Bryce Burnside. Jared Burnside. Dylan Berwick. Caitlin Bai. Kobe Carlson. Leah Carlson. Jasmine Chow. Cheyenne Christensen. Abigail Cogdill. Jordan Cote. James Critelli. Bailey Cushman. Jillian Dahl. Tori Danielson. Arnis Dargbe. Agnes Dolo. Rosemary Dubé. Alexander DeRoe. Eric Eggum. Jordan Elliott. Innocent Emmanuel. Emily Erickson. Jadea Erickson. Kai Erickson. Matthew Erickson. Miles Yvonne. Sarah Faber. Paige Feeney. Liz Fisher. Ryan Forbush. Taylor Ford. Paxton Frankie. Mohammed Gull. Caitlin Gaber. Kelly Gaber. Tori Gable. Chandler Gerhold. Samuel Jess. Everett Gibley. Kayla Gerke. Riley Gira. Ethan Gorder. Mason Gord. Sydney Graff. Emily Groth. Danielle Grove. Sadie Gunderson. Gabrielle Hagenstead. Samantha Hagan. Joel Haggard. Catherine Hahn. Brittany Hall. Paige Hall. Parrish Holly. Connor Halverson. Dylan Halverson. Matthew Hansen. Patrick Hansen. Gage Hansen. Mariley Hartel. Sean Harder. Hassan Hassan. Malia Heitland. Cassidy Hendricks. Jacob Henney. Corey Hennebree. Seth Herman. Ashley Hicks. Samuel Holton. Colby Hanze. Samuel Hui. Reno Hazelton. Theron Humphrey. Victoria Irie. Tyler Ingebretson. Anna Ingersoll. Sanad Islamovich. Trevor Jacklich. Dylan Jackson. Lavri Jacobawi. Reed Jacobson. Hannah Johnner. Zachary Jensen. Tasha Gerald. Tylen Jokum. Erica Johnson. Isabel Johnson. Larissa Johnson. Talon Johnson. Tanner Johnson. Breon Jones. Ian Jones. Hannah Cadlick. Samuel Kadri. Jordan Kaiser. Hari Karki. Mohammed Cody. Caitlin Kidder. Connor King. Alexis Clevin. Sierra Close. Caitlin Knutsvig. Kenyon Koch. Ramada Corgo. Alexandra Cody. Nathan Cruz. Katie Kuklinski. Taylor Kungel. Avdo Kurtovic. Hunter Kutzer. Brandon Ladwig. Bailey La Liberty. Jaden Langley. David Larson. Thomas Lavin. Nicholas Lawrence. Elizabeth Ledoux. Elena Learbakken. Maxwell Lingle. Connor Lip. Trinity Locklear. Catherine Lorenz. Megan Lorenz. Christina Lucier. Nunu Mashek. Carter Meyer. Jackson Maring. Jennifer Marsh. Kylie Martinson. Bajo Mayor. Emily McGregor. Kimberly McClagan. Drew McLean. David McMains. Hunter McMullen. Joshua McWethy. Morgan Minette. Emma Munson. Aaron Moomjin. Jasmine Morris. Arona Mukhtar. Jessica Mullen. Elizabeth Meralt. Jackson Meralt. Brittany Myrie. Jordan Myrie. Joseph Names. Alyssa Nelson. Benjamin Nelson. Mitchell Nevela. Deanna Nisco. Cole Nubson. Zulika Noor. Malia Choa. Abby Olson. Braden Olson. Zachary Olson. Casey Orvidal. Emily Oslin. Rachel Osland. Manisha Pakawal. Shauna Pansky. Michaela Parrott. Dev Patel. Amanda Perlenfine. Millicent Peter. Jordan Peterson. Tyra Peterson. Mark Pettinger. Justina Pittman. Matthew Powers. Robert Pointer. Tyler Price. Jordan Priest. Sajita Rai. Samita Rai. Connor Rail. Chandler Rowe. Jenna Reith. Kendra Roach. Colton Rorick. Adam Rundy. Linda Runfizi. Zachary Salmon. Carter Sandin. Courtney Sosted. Dylan Savageau. Paige Savageau. Adam Schlickman. Michael Schmidt. Samantha Schrader. Joseph Schwab. Corbin Scott. Makai Selekwa. Alicia Shamdas. Osman Sharaway. Skylar Shosky. Ashley Shin. Claire Sewart. Melody Simonson. Madison Skadberg. Hunter Scramstead. Destin Slamma. Dayton Slamma. Morgan Smith. Tyler Stabner. Ryan Stolpes. Ariana Steinke. Derek Storbeck. Abigail Stugelmeyer. Danny Sun. Mackenzie Swangler. Tanner Swanson. Bailey Tangen. Ryan Tigan. Elizabeth Thome. Haley Thompson. William Thompson. Nathaniel Thorson. Megan Thorson. Natalie Tomhave. Abdul Tomei. Adam Van Camp. Mandy Tran. Ellen Trotter. Zachary Trotter. Sophia Tupa. Hannah Van Dam. Aspen Vernon Thompson. McKenna Vetter. Mitchell Vetter. Nicholas Vogley. Kelvin Walker. Austin Wangen. Heidi Wanzik. Connor Watkins. Megan Weigel. Sophia Wentling. Jacob West. Bailey Weston. Samuel Westrick. Evan Wimkin. Alex Wittemacky. Emma Wittemacky. Grace Wingy. Covey Wong. Jimmy Yang. David Zebley. Marion Zing. Graham Zola.
Come on, Graham. Will the class of 2016 please stand? Well, graduates, this portion of our journey is now complete. Will you all please join me in the ceremonial turning of the tassel? Congratulations, we did it. This concludes Davies High School's class of 2016 commencement ceremony.